Welcome to another episode of the Art of Bird Photography. In this episode, I'm going to be talking about adding effects in post-processing that kind of look like when you turn them on, you're actually turning them off. In other words, effects in post-processing that you use to remove things from the scene that don't look natural. Well, that sounds a bit complicated, but I'm going to show you what I mean in a photo of Black Vulture that I took, and I think after showing them to you, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So let's go to the post-processing darkroom. Okay, so you see here we have a photo of a Black Vulture. And this photo was taken on a sunny day. And because this photo was taken on a sunny day, I processed it in black and white to get rid of some of those strange hues that you get when certain colors become a little washed out or overblown. It's sort of like a high-key experiment to kind of better illustrate the harshness of sunny, bright light coming straight down from above. And I want to talk about two problems in this photo. The first has to do with the slight darkness in the top left corner. This is what I was talking about. You see, if I change the view to a very small view, you'll especially see it. You'll see that this dark edge here kind of looks strange. And when you have a sort of dark slanted vignette edge that looks like this, it really makes the photo look like a snapshot, like it wasn't deliberate. And so it's really in your best interest to remove it. So what I just did was I used a simple tone curve. There, it's gone. Maybe that was a little bit too strong. I'll decrease the opacity just a little bit to make it so that the corners really, the left and the right top corners, really look very similar. See? Off, on. See, removing things like that really add a sort of sense of deliberateness to your photo that make it seem like there isn't anything in the photo that shouldn't belong there. In other words, things like that that don't seem to belong, that don't serve any purpose. If it's just a little bit of a tonal variation, it's a really good idea to remove that because it makes your photo look much better, much more serene and calm, almost as though it was a little bit planned rather than a strange random happenstance that you just let in your photo. What's the other thing that can be improved? Okay, so you see the left-hand side of the frame has some contrasty grass, a little more contrasty than this grass in the middle. And the bokeh here has some weird elements in it, like these slightly out of focus things. Here, sort of where this dark line is. Now, you could soften that a little bit with the tone curve, but I find that it's also easier to soften with the contrast equalizer. So I created a contrast equalizer. Now watch carefully. This is off, on, off, on. You see that contrast equalizer did two things. It makes the background look more uniform, less distracting, and it makes the part of the grass down here, the whole left to right area of the grass, look more uniform. And now I notice there's something else here. There's a small little dark spot just in the grass. So what I can do, because it's right on the edge, I can crop by just a couple pixels and get rid of that. Crop a little more. If you didn't want to crop it, actually a better thing to do if you don't want to change your composition at all is to use the tone curve with a parametric and drawn mask to get rid of that piece. But maybe I'll leave that for another video. So there you have it. These examples show that when you have a photo and there are certain elements in it that don't seem to belong or just there randomly, it's a good idea to tone them down or get rid of them, as in the case with the vignette. Really simple things you can do to your photo to make it seem more deliberate and just more well put together. So that's it for this episode of the Art of Bird Photography. I hope you liked it. If you have any suggestions for future episodes, please write them in the comments, and I'll see you again next time.